So by now, most of you should know, my name is Yusef Scott, and I want to welcome you to the SodarneasyForex University. Alright, so by now, most of you should know that my name is Yusef Scott. I'm the guy behind the SodarneasyForex University. Very grateful and thankful to have you guys here. Listen, I know that some of you probably don't know this, but they consider me the Forex GOAT. If you haven't yet figured it out, please visit theforexgoat.com and I'm sure you'll figure it out, alright? As I always tell you guys, I'm very grateful and thankful to have you guys here. In today's time, you know, you guys are doing something totally different. And so I really appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day, you know, when you can be doing anything else other than watching my content. I appreciate you for watching my content, all right, as I always tell you guys. Now listen, I wanted to, I know that a lot of you, well, let me say this. I receive some questions from time to time. And one of the questions that I get is, Mr. Scott, you know, it's nice, you always show us your profit, but you never show us your losses, okay? So what I want to do is I want to explain how I am when it comes to trading. All right, you guys seen my last video I put out about the secret ingredient being confidence, okay? I'm going to break that down a little bit, okay? Now, I told you guys my transition from my earlier days of being a trader. All I did was open up trades, random trades on different pairs, all on one account, okay? Now, when it comes to trading Forex, I believe that you should operate just like it's a system. You have to follow a certain system in order to get from point A to point B, all right? Just like I teach my students to read the market from point A to point B, you follow a certain system and you follow the discipline and you know, you're good. So, transitioning from being, you know, my earlier days of opening up random trades everywhere, at this point in the game, I realized that, you know, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to allow the market to set up. I'm always looking for a certain setup, all right? And I'm going to allow the market to set up the way I need it to be set up in order for me to attack, all right? Now, I know that a lot of you guys see the profit, and in fact, I'm going to show you guys a video of the profit that you guys will see videos that I'm going to post from here and there, but I'm going to show you guys how, you know, I'm able to get into the market with ease. A lot of you tell me, man, you know, you trade the market, man, you're a beast, you know, and I don't get big-headed about it. I mean, my head's big enough, but I don't get big-headed about it. You know, I just realized that, you know, it's not so much about me being a beast. You know, I know you guys consider me the Forex GOAT, but it's not necessarily about that. I'm strictly following the discipline. All right, and this same discipline I teach my students. I pass it on to my students. Okay, so let me explain to you guys what all this means. Okay, so me as a Forex trader, okay, I'm looking for a certain setup all the time. That's it. I'm looking for a certain setup. And if I don't have that set up, if it's not set up properly, I'm not getting into it. You know, I see plenty of opportunities in the market where a market is trending up. It's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Like for instance, a lot of your indices, they're moving up, they're moving back up. They drop, but they're moving back up right now. I could literally go over there and I could literally trade on the indices. But you know, my discipline won't allow me to do that. My discipline would only allow me to get into the market at a certain place, and that's it. So the reason why so many people, they see me and they question, well, man, I never see any losses. First of all, I'm a long-term trader. First of all. Even more, when I'm trading, when I'm scalping the market, I have strict rules, baby. Strict rules. I'm not getting in on everything. I don't need to show what I'm getting into all the time. I don't need to do that. I don't need to, you know, that doesn't do anything for me to show everybody, oh, this is what he's getting in on. That doesn't do anything for me. It's, you know, I share it because I want people to know and realize this is what's possible, okay? Now, I know people, they ask, well, you know, you gotta be losing, man. You know, you winning all these and you gotta be losing. You know, see, the way that I see it is this. If you haven't been where I've been, if you haven't traveled down the journey that I've traveled, you wouldn't even comprehend what I'm saying. Because it won't resonate, because you're only seeing the market from that narrow point of view based on what you've been exposed to up until this point. But me, I'm always looking at the market, whether, like I told you guys in the last video, I'm looking at the market whether I'm scalping or trading long term, day trading, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking at the market from the big picture. I'm taking an aerial view, you know, the bird's eye view of what's going on in the market. Okay? And what does that do for me? It helps me to, it limits the risk. For starters, that's what it does. Now, I'm not trading with the stop loss, because I make sure that there's an average that every pair would move. Pairs, even on an average day, pairs will move, there's an average range. All right? 45 to 65, whatever. When a catastrophic news event come out, I told you guys I used to trade the news. That's all I used to do. Had a spreadsheet, high impact news events. That's all I did. I know what news events are going to affect. I know what pairs are going to be affected by a certain news event. I know all of that. I know the average pips and all that. Things may have changed now, but I knew back then, I knew all of that. So with all that being said, I'm making sure that even if there's a catastrophic news event, I'm padding my account with enough so that I'm good. And if the worst happens where the market tanks or the market goes sky high, I know that news events are only temporary. All right? So when you protect yourself from the door, you don't get into a trade and then try to protect yourself. You go into the trade already fully protected. Think about it. When we go to war in Afghanistan, shout out to my man Ron, when we go to war in Afghanistan or wherever, we don't go over there with no supplies. We go over there suited and booted, protected already. I mean, you have to be protected from the door. From the door, be protected. Before you even get to the door, really, you need to be protected. Same thing, same philosophy. Be protected. Don't overexpose yourself. You know, let's think about it. So here's the deal. I'm a long-term trader. Okay, my trades run. You know, I had a guy who I put out a video on. I'll show you guys the GBP trades too, by the way. But I had a guy who I put out a video on Instagram, and I may have put this on YouTube as well, but I was running the GBP JPY, which I'm still in those trades. I'll show you guys. And he messaged me on Instagram and he said, hey, look, dude, he said, basically he was telling me that the trades were in the negative since last Friday, almost, a little bit over a week ago. He said those trades were in the negative. He thought I called the trades to go down, but I'm like, I called a buy. I would never have said the market was going to go down. The market is going up. You can go see it. So I sent him the link to the video. I said, dude, here's the video right here. And he was very apologetic. Man, I apologize, man, you know, this and that. You know, luckily I was trading, like he said, man, luckily I was trading on demo. But, you know, he said, I apologize, man, but you know, he misinterpreted, or he didn't hear me properly. So I'm a long-term trader. Before I get into anybody's trading, I always know the direction the market is going in. Not just in the immediate, I'm talking about the big picture. I speak on aerial view, bird's eye view. We need to know the big picture, what's going on. So since I'm a long-term trader and I make sure that my entries are on point, I make sure of that. And even if the market was to pull up and pull back, I already know what time. Listen, I study these charts enough. I know even if the market was to pull back, I already know what time it is. I already have to, listen, and I'm not going to say too much because then I'll start spitting out like I'm in training, but I'm just here to tell you guys, when you know Forex and you know what these markets are doing constantly, they're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. When you know that, listen, it's you almost, it's like you can go into the market and take money whenever you want to. Seriously, that's the way it is. Now, I'm not saying that it's that simple if you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, you need to be taught. But what I'm telling you is once you learn it and you go from trading thousands of trades all the time to, let me sit back and let me wait for it to set up right. And you wait, and when you see it set up, you get into the market, you already know what time it is. So, yes, I run trades long term. That's what I do. Before I even get into the market, I'm looking at the market from an aerial view, bird's eye view. I know what the market is doing. All right? I'm not taking 1,000 trades, increasing my exposure like most traders. I'm taking 1 or maybe 2 trades a week. And sometimes I take no trades a week. Sometimes every other week. Every other week, literally, seriously. But when I do it, the market is going to go in a direction because I make sure that I have more than enough reasons why the market should be going up or down. If you're trading at, and this is what I want to tell you guys, if you're trading at, because most people, they teach, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save it for another video. I'm going to save it for another video. I have to say this. I got to get it off my chest because, listen, some of you guys, man, some of you guys really be pushing it. I'm telling you, you guys be pushing. I'm like, if you only just looked outside of the box, everything would just make sense. All right? Listen, I'm going to hold that for another video. All right? The next video I'm going to talk about this. But listen, remember, stay healthy, stay safe, stay prayed up during these times. I really appreciate you guys supporting the So Darn Easy Forex University. I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.